Hi guys, I'm Locutus, and after a long absence, welcome back to the Collective. It's been a while, no real reason, I've just sort of haven't really had the time to be doing videos and stuff lately on this nature, and I've not really been playing as many games as I used to as well, to be honest, but I guess that's just life. But I'm sure you were all devastated by my absence, as if any of you even noticed I was gone. But anyway, I'm back now, and I know I've said this before, but I am hopefully going to be starting to get some kind of regular recording schedule up now. This is actually attempt number 2 at restart here. I did do some recording last night, but in all honesty, the recording didn't come out very well, and my rustiness showed very much when I had a little watch of some of the footage I recorded, and it just didn't make good viewing at all. So I'll hold up my hands, it was crap. So I've tried again. Well, I'm trying again tonight. As you can see, we are back on Warhammer Total War, or Total War Warhammer, or as I will refer to it from now on, and have probably said this previously, Total Warhammer, because that's what it really should be called. We've played Warhammer before. I played a bit of the Human campaign, and I have played through the Human campaign in its entirety since then. But what I have got now is the Wood Elf DLC, and I love Wood Elves. They are my favourite faction in Warhammer, always have been. They're what I collected in the tabletop game back in the day, and I just think they're a really cool faction. And I've tried playing the Grand campaign, and that's where I started on, and things went a bit wrong. They play very differently to the other factions in this. The way you take land and build your buildings up and everything is just completely different to how the other factions play, and it just, if you get your pacing wrong early on, it's very hard to get started in there. And to be honest, it didn't quite feel right to me anyway. Because, you know, the whole thing with the Wood Elves is they're a xenophobic, isolationist faction. They don't really want to go outside of their sacred forest. They don't want to take over the world. They just want people to stay the hell out of Athelloren, or they will kill them. So the Grand campaign, having Wood Elves sort of rampaging around trying to conquer Bretonnia and everywhere, just seems a bit weird to me anyway. But I mean, I will probably come back to it and try it just because it's fun to do anyway. But what I have found out, having a little look around more further now, is there is a special Wood Elf sort of mini campaign that's set up, which is sort of set on a different map, where the map is all Athelloren but a lot bigger, and that seems much more appropriate for Wood Elves, so that's what we're going to try. So let's go into campaigns. And we'll go new campaign, and rather than the Grand campaign, we're going to do the Season of Revelation story campaign, which is the Wood Elves, by their own reckoning, enjoying a period of relative calm. Life in the old world carries on apace. The Azrai are barely touched by it. Incursions by the foolhardy have been dealt with. Dazzling defeats inflicted, stunning victories won, and the forest roots nourished with the blood of trespassing outsiders. Now something is coming back to terrorise the Athelloren woodland glade, something altogether more dangerous than mere greenskin raiders or Bretonian treasure hunters. The entire forest must fight now, for its very existence is under grave threat. Prepare yourself, or prepare your kindred, for this is the Season of Revelation. Which probably means beastmen are going to try and invade the forest, and we're going to murder them with extreme prejudice. Okay, now we have a choice here. We can play as two factions. We can play as the main Wood Elf faction, which is more elfy based. You get Elven Council, you get missile-focused Elven roster with a variety of enchantments and fast-moving. Or you can play as Arguelin, or Arguelon, I guess, which is more of a sort of treekin based army. You play as an ancient tree man, you lead the forest itself, which is a cool option, but I'm going to play as the Wood Elves because that was kind of always my thing. The way I used to play Wood Elves on the tabletop, I never used to play them as a very heavily archery based army. I used to play them more lots of war dancers, lots of dryads, and you know, you had the missile troops as well, because you do. And
Lord of the Azrai!
So we will be playing as Orion, is our main character, who is sort of a elven demigod, I guess you could say. He sort of possesses an elf prince, but you'll see that in the intro anyway in a moment, and in the background there if you want to pause it and have a read. But let's get started. I'm going to be editing out loading screens in this, by the way, so don't worry if those seem to disappear rather rapidly, because the recording doesn't seem to work right in them. But I'll shut up for the moment.
the deepwood stirs.
And enjoy some delicious mango and raspberry cider, which is an appropriately poncy elven drink.
Are past, and the season of war is here. The Asray are hunters. And the forest is our home. Woe betide those foolish enough to threaten it. There have been sacrifices, but we are ready. He is ready. The wild hunt begins!
Greetings, Orion, king in the woods. You awake to a world sorely in need of you. Athelloren lies broken and in ruin. A sickness lies upon the forest, sapping its strength. With it, many great halls have fallen to darkness in your absence, and the once mighty Oak of Ages is now a bleak shadow of its former glory. Though you are born into fleeting life, Orion, through your strength, the forest will heal. This is the time of rebirth, for Ariel, for Kernus, and for Athelloren.
Okay, so here we go. So the main thing that differs with Wood Elves from the main factions is the way you sort of grow the Oak of Ages in the middle of the forest, which has a big impact on your whole faction-wide area. It's not a normal province that you grow things from the normal way. You grow it by gaining other territory, which gives you amber. You get amber from occupying things, also from allying with other factions, but you gain amber. Amber is sort of a set resource. There's a certain amount you're producing, a certain amount you're consuming. So at the moment I'm on +3. But if I build more units that take it up, or research technologies that take it up, then that's a flat minus, and I need to research more in order to upgrade the oak to different levels, which gives me all sorts of major bonuses. And the oak is the key to the whole centre of my civilization. But you do get normal provinces as well, so let's see what we've got to start out with here. So, starting out, we've got the Kings, we've got the Oak of Ages over there, which the only thing in it is the Oak of Ages. I can't actually recruit, I think you can recruit lords and stuff there, but potentially characters, and there is a garrison there of Dryads, Way Watchers, Glade Guard. There's actually several types of Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, which is nasty ammunition, fire damage, and Hagbane tips are magical, 20 damage and poison. And they get magical and fire and armor piercing. Woo, okay, we like them. And I get a tree man there as well. And the King's Glade, got a tree man, some Glade Riders, some Glade Guards, some Deepwood Scouts, and some Dryads, some Wildwood Ranger. Okay, that's pretty cool. And what have we got there at the moment? We've got a level 2 hall, a level 3 hall, would cost us a bit. We've got a basic Salathoi Gallery, which we can upgrade to a Trickster's Gallery, and then eventually to a Forest Lookout. At the moment, it lets us produce Eternal Guards, with or without shields, but we would need an Azrai Forge for the shielded versions. It's pretty much your standard spearman, but you get a shielded version, which is a bit better, obviously. You get War Dancers at level 2. Now, War Dancers is something I would like to get some of, because I really like War Dancers in this. I'm actually going to have a look at their unit card, because I haven't really looked at the Wood Elves in detail too much. I want to see what they actually do. So, let's have a little look here. Apologies if this doesn't come out. If it doesn't, then we won't be doing it in future episodes, obviously. But there's sword infantry, this version of them. They have phenomenal melee attack and leadership. And what are their abilities? The Shadows Coil, Hide in Forest, immune to psychology. So they immune to psychology, and they get Shadow Dances of Lyric. Doesn't actually say what they do, though. I mean, if I click on those, does it tell me? No, it doesn't. That's kind of unhelpful, to be honest. I mean, if I mouse over them... I guess we'll find out later. And the other option there, again, with an Azrai... Oh no, with an Azrai Armory, we get War Dancers with Spears, who... Now, regular War Dancers are a lot better at attack than the Spear versions. But they get anti-large. But the regular ones just hit flat harder. They're better, they're faster. And unless we get Wildwood Rangers, who are glaive infantry, really nasty armor piercing, heavy infantry basically. I'm not a big fan of heavy infantry with Wood Elves. I like to play a fast, light, skirmishy army with them. So yeah, that's what we've got there. Second building we could build. We could build a Glade Guard Hide, which will let us start making nastier toys like Hagbane Tips, and then eventually Deepwood Scouts, or Swift Shiver Shards. I don't know what those are either. They're... Swift Shiver Shards are magical. Doesn't act... Again, it doesn't... I really wish you could... there was an easy way to actually view what these abilities do. I mean, what if I pick an army?
I live to serve Ariel.
So if I pick... Ah, right, okay. So once I've clicked them, it keeps up there. So, armor-piercing missiles, forest stalkers. Well, we'll deal with that when we get to them. I'm sure I'm missing something off. If there is a way around that and anyone knows, do tell me, please, because... okay, we could build... Roots of Geharon, that'll let us build Spell Singers. Azrai Forge, we get shields to my Azrai. A Bowyer Workshop would get me... Ooh, Starfire Shafts for the... Ooh, I like that idea. However... Early on, Public Order, I did find the first time I tried to play the Wood Elf campaign can be a problem, because you don't have a lot of options for adding it like you do with the Empire, other than turning off tax, and I kind of need tax. So I'm actually going to start researching the Craftsman's Tree, which will give me pottery to trade and more Public Order. I think we are... Yeah, going to upgrade that immediately to level 2 because I want War Dancers.
I thirst for the hunt.
Now, starting army here, we've got Orion. We've got Orion, who is a legendary lord himself. We've got a unit of Eternal Guard with shields. We've got 2 units of Eternal Guard without shields. What does shielded actually do? Is it just flat out shields with a chance of blocking arrows, bolts, rifle? Yeah, yeah. Okay. We've got a unit of Way Watchers. Master ambushers can move while hidden in any terrain, firing in direction even whilst running. Way Watchers are pretty awesome. Forest Stalker, they just work better in forest, and armor-piercing missiles. Way Watchers are pretty sick. And we've got a unit of Wild Riders as well. Their melee attack. Yeah, they're the melee version of Wild Riders. I don't know if you can get the bow-armed versions, because I don't know which version of Wood Elves this game was based on. I always used to like to have my Wild Riders in the old days with bows, as use them as sort of fast missile cavalry, but... Okay, let's have a look at technology as well. We've only got one option at the moment, which is Morag Heg the Crone. Which is essentially just various things you can research as elves. So, yeah, Morag Heg the Crone, ward save 10% during forest battles, plus 5 leadership during forest battles. Well, since most of this campaign is set within Athelloren, that'll be pretty good. If we zoom out, but let's have a look at the map as a whole here. You can see we've got a little bit of Bretonnian land over there to the left, and the north and the northwest, and you've got the Grey Mountains where the Empire would be. So you can see it's a much more sort of zoomed in version of the map. On the Grand Campaign map there'd be like 3 or 4 provinces for the whole forest. In this version we've got, at the moment I've got contact with 3 other factions, and there's a Beastman over there. Now I presume if we go into the diplomacy screen,
relations with foreign powers may be managed through diplomacy.
That we are at peace with all the other elves.
Consider your situation carefully before accepting any agreement.
And the Beastmen, not so big a fan of them. Okay, how are we doing? Those guys, they're all improving, I think, because they're all elves. The Torgavan, who are over there, they like us. The Altworth, they like me. And they're also someone we could trade with, so I think...
You have been granted safe passage. For now.
Let's give them offer them a non-aggression pact. And a trade agreement. And... yeah, let's go for military access as well. Yep, they like that. That's pretty cool. I'm quite happy to... I think these guys can be our friends. They seem reasonable. Now the Kerthal are to our southeast. How are they? They are neutral. I think we might have to deal with them. I'm kind of thinking we take them out. Their strength ranks is pretty low. I mean, ours is really low, obviously, but...
We will see our homeland persist through all the coming ages.
Now, obviously the general aim here is to defend the forest, but that's best achieved by me getting the whole forest under my rule. Torgavan... they quite like me as well, and they're strong.
I will not believe a word you say.
So, non-aggression pact. No, they don't want to know about it. What about the Weirdross? They don't like me. Why don't they like me? Okay. Maybe we'll deal with her in a minute. Let's have a look at the Karavok as well. I'm just trying to at the moment sort of get a lay of the land here and see who's on whose side.
We will see our homeland persist through all the coming ages
They
of
have
the
no
world.
interest in dealing with me.
What could you possibly
She has absolutely no interest in dealing with me. You know what? That's fine. And Altworth has no issues with me wiping out the Carathal, so I think the Carathal are the first to go. Because they're right in the corner of the map. So if I can take them off, then that flank is pretty secure, because I'm friendly with them. However, the first thing we're going to do, pretty obviously here, is we're going to take Orion's army.
Orion!
And we're going to flatten this crappy little unit of beastmen here. We don't know what it is, but it's not a big army. And it's guarding a ruined province which we can colonize. There's another one we can colonize over there. And I think... is that all one province? Yeah, so I think we colonize these two provinces as quickly as we can. And then we have a good solid start. But that's essentially free terrain.
Yes!
Now we could recruit some more stuff. But I don't want to yet, because the army I've got already should be good enough to deal with this. And I'd rather get cracking on this stuff before we... So, we're going to go straight in
Rage of
and attack the beastmen. I suspect they're going to retreat. Now, have I got the speed to take them this turn?
To the hunt!
Okay, we're going to colonize that straight up. Number of soldiers that will settle here, 281. That's a lot of men. I don't have that big an army. Do it.
Very well.
And that is the full province controlled, though. Now, unlike the Empire, we don't get the option to set sort of provincial options, but you do get a province bonus, which is... yeah, we get untainted, so undead suffer losses in this area. And you can immediately start building up to a copse, which is the basic version, I think. Hang on, let's get rid of that screen there. The basic version of... yeah. And we can already recruit, obviously. But it will provide us a garrison as well, which is important because that means we won't get murdered.
Lord of the Forest.
Can we get him this turn?
Attack!
No, we can't.
King in the woods.
So, no, you stay there for now. And you recover your men. And if I can... yes, I can still recruit. So, I've got a bit of money left. And from local recruitment, I'm going to have, I think, a couple of units
Have my blessing.
of Glade Guard. Maybe 3 units of Glade Guard, because I think that's pretty good. We've got 3 units of missile infantry and 3 units of spearmen to guard the front. Okay. That'll do, I think. And I think... oh yeah, I've gained an amber for colonising that, so +1. And I need... to upgrade the tree, I need 2,000 money, but I also need 6 amber. That's different. Ooh, this is actually very different to what it costs in the... yeah, it's actually quite different to what you can do in the Grand Campaign. So we're probably going to have a crack at the Grand Campaign once we complete this little mini one. But this little mini campaign, I think, is going to be a better one for an opening series anyway. So that should do for turn 1. Let's see what happens here. So the elves are pretty much doing their thing. How are these guys? Let's have a little chat with these other elves. Are they liking me anymore? Yep, they're going up pretty rapidly. Oh yeah, they really like me now. So
Tuat stivarum siv laterthu.
That's not who I thought I was talking to. Antwerp, that's who I
I will
speak
not
to.
believe a word you say, but speak anyway.
I think they might go for a defensive alliance. No, they don't want it yet. Okay, we'll wait for a while then. No rush. I don't need their help at the moment anyway. I just want... It's not so much that I want their help, it's more that I want to make sure they stay on board with me when I attack the Tirvana down here. Because I am going to attack the Tirvana down here. They need to go. These guys, if I can get them on board well enough, I'm happy to bring them on board diplomatically. And they seem fairly equitable to that. Now let's see, first of all, how much has this army healed?
God King of the Deep.
Fairly well. I want to be a little careful here because I've got a lot of units here which I can't replace easily, and I don't want to lose them early on. Yeah, so yeah, Wood Elves in general. Wood Elves are...
No one.
Ooh. Well, the Beastmen fancy their chances this time. They're not running. And the computer reckons... Well, I've got a slight edge in power here, but I have taken some losses here, so I've only got actually about... They outnumber me quite heavily in terms of it here, but I outnumber... And that's the other thing to bear in mind. If you look at the Way Watchers here, or the Glade Guard rather, compared to, say, the Eternal Guard, you'll notice something, which is, whilst they're not great, they're not terrible in melee either. In fact, you look at their melee defense and melee attack, which is to say, and the weapon damage, and you compare that to, say, an Ungor Herd. It's not terrible. They're not, you know, they are no pushover. They're not like, you look at their archers, for example, Ungor Raider Missile Infantry, and they're garbage if it comes to, to melee. We've got, are they missile cavalry? No, they're actual cavalry. Centigors. There's only 45 of them. I'm pretty sure we can shoot the hell out of them if necessary. So let's fight our first battle. So I will see you guys on the field. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at the lay of the land here. Let's have a little look-see around here. We have got... We're actually fairly zoomed out here. These are just big trees. Now I can see a unit of Centigors over there, which aren't doing a very good job of hiding. We can get a better look at those because our Way Watchers are scouts, which means I can deploy them up in these trees over here.
Foes of Athelloren!
My Deepwood Scouts... Is there enough forest here to hide them? Yep, they are hidden. Put them into skirmish mode because I don't want them getting stuck into combat. And I will put them into skirmish mode. And the rest of this lot...
Missiles ready! Orders! Orders!
Let's have a nice line of Glade Guard there.
Kurnos! Bless us! Eternal Guard!
And we'll have a little line of spearmen just behind them, ready to rush forward. Orion can stand here. Orion has a pretty nasty melee attack himself. Now they get Vanguard deployment as well, I believe. But I'm going to put them up here in the forest as well, ready to come in behind. Now the general plan, it's pretty simple. We shoot the hell out of them as they cross the field. And, yeah, anything that survives gets shot to pieces. Now the Deepwood Scouts will immediately start firing on them. But they're in skirmish, so they should run away pretty shortly.
Archers ready!
And I'm actually going to try and pick their carriage off there. And the Way Watchers... Okay, they're getting shot at, so time to run. Now they can keep firing on the move. Way Watchers can run over here. Okay, let's pause this a second because we're not really shooting the right things. I'm not worried about that as much as I'm worried about those Centigores. The cavalry can come over here. I think I might lose my Deepwood Scouts here actually potentially, so they're just going to run, I think. Let's just open up a... Oh, blimey, that did some damage. And Orion, I think it is time for you to start doing some meanness. Let's get the Hounds of Orion, which is a magic spell, going right there. Now they should just make a mess of them. Those Centigore cavalry are already breaking. Let's have them run in there. And have these guys fall back. And these Eternal Guard can get stuck in. And Orion, I actually think, can rush that guy head to head because he should be more than a match for that guy. And the Glade Guard can get in from behind. The Way Watchers can... I think I put the Way Watchers too far out in all honesty in this one. They're not really going to get into this much, but let's see. I think I've softened them up more than enough for my weakened units of infantry to deal with them. Elves are just better than Beastmen one-on-one anyway. And those guys can get stuck into the flank. Ooh, there's their archers.
Yes. Let's hunt.
Ooh, the scouts have rallied. Let's get stuck in here and have a look at Orion kicking the hell out of this guy.
Orion! Rouse in the forest!
Go on, throw your spear at him. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, this guy's not long for this world. Orion can hunt him down. These guys are just getting shot here, actually, so let's deal with them. Oh dear. Okay, let's pause this a moment, because the Centigores rallied and are killing my Way Watchers. That was a bit silly of me. I can't afford to replace them, so you guys back off. You guys open fire on them. How about my Wild Riders? Oh, my Wild Riders are broken. Orion... You know what, I think Orion can deal with the Unit of Archers on his own. I don't mind if the Way Watchers flee, because I don't want them to die. I'm happy for them to be broken as long as they're not dead. Orion. Orion can take a shot at these guys.
Annihilate all!
Orion has some nasty spells here. Oh, yep, Orion's won the fight already. Okay, that was a little bit messy. But we didn't actually lose any units, I don't think. That's important because we can replenish those losses easily enough. So let's end the battle. Okay, so we gained a little bit of money from that. We've gained a war banner, which just gives me straight up leadership. And so how do we assign... straight up leadership bonus? I actually think we want to apply that to the Eternal Guard with shields, because they are the tough holy unit that needs to actually make sure they stay held. Beastmen. Tiny amount of money we gain for releasing them is no way worth it. We want the captives dead. It's only 30 of them, to be fair, but 30 less now. And Orion has leveled up.
Lord of the Forest.
And we're going to give him... missile damage bonus for entire faction wide for all Wood Elves. Yeah, I think we're having that initially. Now,
Master of the Wild Hunt.
I could press on and try and finish those guys off, but I don't think I'm
I
going
live to serve Ariel. Rage of Kronos.
Yep, oh no, I have got enough. We've got the advantage again. We've taken even more damage. We've got a lot less scouts. No, but the cavalry are... no, the cavalry are screwed. We've still got the spearmen, we've still got the archers, and we've still got Orion, and Orion is the key. And this is a second pursuit battle, so if we win this, we wipe their army out. So, yeah, we're going to fight this battle. If I've pushed 2k, so the key thing this time I notice is that their... if I start as their lord is already pretty badly wounded, so, you know, if he comes forward and gets a whole volley of arrows in the face, he's going to die almost immediately.
Warriors of Ariel!
So, have we got a good hill we can deploy on? There's not really any kind of hill, so I'm just going to deploy these guys straight over the front line here.
Yes! Yes! Armed and ready!
And we'll have our spears here. We want... yep, the unit with the shields we want in the middle. They can hold that pretty well.
Orion!
Orion! Yep, Orion can stay with him here. The Wild Riders we're actually going to keep back here, and we're only going to use them at the end of the battle for pursuit. Similarly, the Way Watchers and the Scouts
Ready to fire!
we're going to keep back in these trees hidden, and they can just lend some fire support. They're too damaged for me to risk them getting involved directly. So, yep, let them come. If they don't want to play... they're thinking about it. I'm getting the distinct impression here that they'd rather not be fighting this battle. So let's move them up a little bit.
Advance!
Glade Guard!
Let's get the Glade Guard up to here.
Immediately! Eternal Guard!
These guys behind them.
We will obey!
And Orion. Yep, Orion can just bring up there. Are they actually falling back?
Deepwood
You know what?
archers.
Let's bring the Deepwood Scouts up here.
Quickly!
Because in all honesty, if the Deepwood Scouts get discovered, they have good range, stalk, hidden movement. They're not actually better at scouting. I guess Wood Elves just generally have a good sight range. But if I can get these guys up a little closer, and just start firing a few arrows into them, I just want to draw them out.
Destroy the war herd!
Or at least get a line of sight to the rest of them before I get any closer. These guys are probably a little eager. Flanks are going. Here they come.
As you say, we advance! Straight away!
You guys can hide immediately.
Die, horned savages!
Yep. They can open up on them straight away.
Orion!
Orion can fire at will. Yep, there goes their lord.
Karnos is in me! Destroy all!
Yes? Attack! We never miss!
These guys can retreat rapidly.
Slay the beast!
These guys can come back. Let's get my spearmen stuck in. Because at the moment, let's have all my Glade Guard fire on them. The Way Watchers, for what it's worth, can fire on them. These guys can run directly away from them.
Blade Guard! Release!
Orion!
Let's get Orion stuck into them. Yep, that's them all running. And they are all running for the hills. Trick is, they were already pretty badly battered from the last game. I mean, my infantry was pretty battered as well, but my archers weren't, and it didn't take much to break all of them from missile fire when they're already that weakened. So, you know what? I think we can end the battle there. Now, let's end that straight up, because that should be their army wiped out regardless of losses. And their lord is dead. And that should be the end of their army. We're getting to rank as well. Again, we're going to execute the captives. Oh no! It's not. Enemy killed in battle. And they're still retreating. Can I hit them again?
God King of the Deepwood.
Yes, I can.
Rage of Karnos.
However, at this point, they're so crippled, I'm happy to just auto calc this because there's no way they're coming back from that. Oh, blimey, I probably shouldn't have done that, because that resulted in me losing my Way Watchers and my Warder. And my cavalry. I could probably have saved them if I'd run that myself. So, lesson learned. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. That's what I get for being lazy. No, nonetheless, at this point, well, the army's gone regardless, so we've already got the kill captives bonus, I'm pretty sure, so let's have some money.
On my way.
Gained a potion of strength.
Master of the Wild Hunt.
Okay, let's bring him back to the Kingsglade. So, yeah, we lost the Way Watchers, we lost the Scouts, we lost the Cavalry. That kinda sucks. But we'll build back to that in a minute. By the time we get back to the Kingsglade, we should be able to recruit some War Dancers. And War Dancers are, to use the language of the kids, the shizzle. I will never do that again, and I apologise. So what are they looking like? Their garrison's pretty strong. I don't think we're ready to take them yet. Is this the immediately neighbouring province? Yeah, we can go get that, I guess.
I thirst for the hunt.
So yeah, let's end the turn. Oh, no, we have to spend the skill points on Orion first of all. I think we've actually got 2 here. So we could give him the Spear of Kornos, which is... oh, that's a quest. That's a quest. That's a quest. I think we want to give him Fleet Finger, which is Rate of Fire. And I think we want to give him... Missile damage, passive effect constantly. That sounds pretty nice. Okay. So what's he got now? He causes terror. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, forest stalker, and Orc's Talon, potion of strength, Eye of Kornos, frenzy, unbreakable. Oh, he has got some good toys. Okay, we like Orion a lot.
The Hunter!
But he's the Wood Elf King, he should be that badass. Now, a lot of people, when they think of elves, they don't think of them as being, you know, nasty or scary type of things. They're that sort of, ooh, they're a bit pansy and flouncy and, ooh, weak, feeble elves is not like big, strong knights or chaos warriors, whatever. And there is a wonderful quote from the Terry Pratchett book, Lords and Ladies, which is also about elves, oddly enough. Which is that the mythology sort of got a bit twisted over time, and the Pratchett elves are much more like the Wood Elves. They're not the friendly, happy elves. They are rather vicious little gits, and they will kill anyone that gets in their way. The quote, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it exactly, but it's something along the lines of, elves are wonderful, they inspire wonder. Elves are fantastic.
Once more.
They are the things of fantasy.
Remains. Who is to blame for the damage done?
Elves are terrific. They beget terror. No one ever said elves were nice.
The ever-festering
Which I just love that.
Whoever
Okay.
is responsible, we must push forth from the forests to seize their lands in retribution.
Okay, so someone has taken the land, so we're in turn going to kill everyone in the entire world. Seems reasonable. We don't have a quest or anything yet, no, but we do have options here. And these have the option... oh, do I want... I kind of want Dryads. I really like Dryads. Dryads are weak against armor, dirty, and Forest Spirit. Forest Spirit gives them all sorts of bonuses. I think, if I recall, it gives them like fear causing. immune to psychology, all sorts of toys. On the other hand, I'm gaining quite a bit of money at the moment, so I don't see any massive rush there. Trade would be good again. I mean, I could... Glade Riders... Oh, I see, that was Wild Riders. I actually had the good melee carry. Glade Riders are the ones I'm thinking of with the shootiness. Cannot build until upgrade to level 2. I do want the cavalry back. No, I think these guys at this point... No, let's get some infrastructure initially, so I think... What's that? That's garrison. That's just straight up defense platforms. I'm not too worried about defense at the moment. Grapevines. That's not a bad option. Casualty replenishment and growth rate. Yeah, I think we're going to get that. It'll give us furs for trading as well. Let's have a look at the diplomacy options here. Are they any more fond of us? They're quite fond of us now. Are they inclined?
I will not believe a word you say, but speak anyway.
Defensive alliance yet? They will join the war against Beastmen, but they want me to pay them for it. No, you know what, I can wait for that. I'm in no rush. Leave the Beastmen to me for now. And how's the trade going? Ah, yeah. So we are actually getting money at this point. Exporting pottery. Yep, so we're getting money from our pottery now. Caravok. Do they like me? Neutral.
You may keep your lying tongue.
No, they're not interested. The Torgavan. Now the Torgavan are reasonably friendly, they seem.
Safe passage for now.
Non-aggression? Nope, they don't want to know about it. Can I actually trade with anyone else? I could trade with the Caravok, but they don't want to talk to me.
We will see our homeland persist through all the coming ages of the world.
And the Weirdroth don't
You may keep your lying
seem
tongue for
to want to
now.
talk to me there. No, okay, fine. Hell with you guys then. You guys, the Talamir, you guys are awesome. I like you. You are my friends.
I live to serve Ariel.
Screw the rest of you.
Make way.
Okay, you can come back this way. And
Away I go.
you can do some recruiting. And you can have... Now, war dancers are kind of expensive.
You have my blessing.
I think 2 units of war dancers.